Trump saved decentralized finance. And if you don't know what that is, it is the right for every human being, no matter where they are, what they believe in, whether they are rich or poor, whether they are documented or not, is a right for every human being to store digital currency and also transact with it. It is the right for every human being to access financial products that are typically only accessible to the privileged, usually under the guise of wanting to protect you. But what it really wants to do, what the system really tries to do, is keep the control of money creation and money flow with a very few, the elite, and make it hard for everyone else to make money work for themselves. What the establishment wants is they want you to go to work 9 to 5 so that they can continue being the overlords. And really, that is why this repealing of the rule that was almost signed into law, we're going to cover in this video what President Trump repealed and why it is so important for humanity that we keep having access to decentralized finance in the form that we have it right now, which is decentralized and permissionless. The right for privacy has never been more important than before. Let me ask you, why on earth would the government need to know how you keep your money in a self-custody fashion? I mean, that is like having a piggy bank at home and you not being able to put your money in there without letting the government know, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I'm about to put $50 into my piggy bank. Please know about it. Please control it. Please sanction it. No, that's absolutely not okay. It's absolutely not okay. Cryptocurrencies were brought into life because the people, we the people, decided we need a currency that belongs to us, that is independent from your centralized ways. We need a currency that is not inflatable. We need a currency that is not only for the few and privileged. We need a currency that we have the agency over keeping and transacting with, and also having access to financial products that would typically only be reserved to so-called accredited investors. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about everybody's right to save money, to lend it out, to borrow it, to be a market maker in financial markets. And that is, as I said, so far in the traditional financial world, there are huge barriers that prevent anyone from accessing that. You can go work the 9 to 5, whereas the privileged make their money with giving out loans, for example, at exorbitant rates that you pay. So in DeFi, every single human being who has some funds set aside can decide to be a lender. And look what I achieved by doing so. This is a screenshot that I just took. 45% APR in decentralized finance. Something that is unheard of in the traditional world. And if it is possible, as I mentioned, it is only accessible to those who are already privileged. And that is why I need you to wake up and understand how important decentralized finance is. And if you don't want to miss out on any of this and potentially even learn how to achieve these results for yourselves, what I need you to do is go to crypto.lifestyle, because I have a class that you can access if you join my mailing list that teaches you exactly how I achieve these results. So, but enough of that. Let's just understand what disaster Trump prevented. We need to understand what this is all about. So here you see the US House votes to overturn an IRS DeFi broker rule that, by the way, stems from the Biden era. Okay. The IRS broker rule would have been impossible to comply with for DeFi entities, one of the resolution's proponents said. So we need to understand, why would it have been impossible? It's because decentralized finance is based on the principle of permissionlessness and trustlessness and privacy, meaning anyone who wants to partake in these financial instruments can do so without needing anyone's approval. You don't need to upload your passport. You don't need to upload your tax information. You don't need to disclose whether you have ever been bankrupt or not. You don't need to tell them if you have a job or not. You don't need to disclose your income. These, in my opinion, are all fundamental rights, because let's be honest, money is so ingrained in our lives that I believe it is a fundamental right of every human being to decide how they hold their money, to whom they give it, and how they transact with it. And that is what DeFi represents. And I don't know if you realize how close we were to losing that, thanks to leaders who don't want that, thanks to leaders who understand that crypto is really threatening the status quo. So this is why the repeal of this US IRS DeFi broker rule was so important. Look what this article says. President Donald Trump has axed a sweeping IRS rule that threatened to tie decentralized exchanges into unfair tax reporting. And that was a blow to the federal tax regulators and a win for the crypto industry. We have a unique chance in history to truly make the financial industry an equal and fair playground. And this is why this was so incredibly important to achieve. And if you don't believe me, maybe you are interested in what this gentleman here has on his website, a representative of the House, by the way, which clearly states here, a bill which repealed the Internal Revenue Service Digital Asset Sale and Exchange Rule, otherwise known as the DeFi broker rule. It repealed that from becoming law. The DeFi broker rule needlessly hindered American innovation, infringed on the privacy of everyday Americans. This is so important. The infringement on the privacy, on the innovation, and on the agency. Let me tell you something. I have a relative in Europe who, as we speak, is not granted access to the money that they hold in their own bank account under the guise of anti-money laundering rules and making sure you don't do anything wrong and stupid with your own money. We don't want you to lose your money. But guess what? It is your money. And who is there to tell you that you cannot do with your money what you wish? I argue that it is a fundamental human right to make bad decisions with your money if you wish so, right? And this is happening in the European Union as we speak. People get turned around at their banks because the banks do not want to give them the money, their own hard-earned money. This is absolutely crazy that we live in current times and this is possible. And I'm telling you, we have, with the crypto movement and the DeFi movement, a final chance to combat this future of potential slavery of the masses. AI is going to overshadow everything. I think a lot of individuals will have to rely on universal income, similar principles. Maybe not the rich and the innovators and the people who embrace crypto like you and I, but the masses who don't even know how to go about that will be in trouble. So hopefully you understand what an important victory it was to get this bill repealed. And hopefully, when you talk about politics and you ask yourselves, what are the actions versus what I see and what is said, you make up your own mind. I'm a freedom loving person. I stand for freedom, sovereignty, and self agency. And I believe you, by watching this video, you do the same. So if you are on the same path as I am, just join my tribe here. Go to the crypto.lifestyle website, enter your information, and I'll make sure you won't be left standing out in the rain as things gets tougher. Because this is a war we are fighting right now, and we all need to be here working together to prevent the worst from happening. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something here today, and I'll see you in the next video.